What about you? What's another one that you would do different if you would start again?
All right. Niche rhymes with rich for a reason.
All right, expand.
When I first got into business, I had this really fear-based, pessimistic mindset. Right, I did. And I'd just gone through like a really hard time in business where we weren't making money. And I was like, honestly, concerned I was going to make it. I was like, this could be the end. So the challenge was when anyone popped out who actually needed help from anything we could do or even potentially do, is I just said yes. Like I just said yes. And to paint a picture of this, in the morning, I might be helping, a finance company with Facebook ads. Then at lunchtime, I'm doing business cards. Then in the afternoon, we might be building a website for e-commerce. Like this was wide. Basically, if it could be done on the internet, I would say yes to it.
Internet guy.
Which is kind of the thing at the time, right? The internet was a new space from here, but it just created so many second-order consequences that I was not prepared for. And I'll list a few of them out because for anyone who's potentially in this scenario right now, you're going to be feeling these pains, right? So let's say in my example, I've got a website build, business cards, and then also ads for a finance company. It's like I didn't have enough work of any of these one things where I could hire a full-time person to help me because like the skill set was so wide, which meant that I was doing all of it. I was kind of jumping between all three of them and trying to work it out. But it also made like team efficiency a nightmare because I'd hire a web developer, but then there's one site, but when that finished, he couldn't help me with the other tasks. He can't design business cards. So the team efficiencies were terrible and it made it really hard to hire because I just was always like an awkward sized team. But then on the other side, it made it hard to market because, well, we did so many things that we just blended in with everything else. And then third to that is I actually feel like in many cases, the quality of the works we did wasn't up to scratch compared to the companies that focused on it. So like for the person out there just building websites as example, they've got a dedicated team, they've got great processes, they do it over and over again. Like they built better websites than us because it was always like a, duct tape approach to doing these things. And it's like that slowed down my business so much because there was always spot fires to put out. It was always a problem that had to be fixed as a second order consequence of the mess I created.
I'd love to know how many people that were doing like internet marketing that ended up doing at least one set of business cards for someone. Because I feel like that just all land on it. And funnily enough, I did the exact same thing that you did. The only difference so I came up against the same problem around full-time employee. And so I just had a list of agencies offshore that I would send everything to. And the problem was like that makes it even worse because you can't put pressure on delivery. And then you
I kid you not, I did the same thing. And then you'd message one, right? You message one and go, oh, hey, look, we'd love to do another website. And then they'd say, oh, we don't do websites anymore. Because they were doing the same thing.
Like, they've got oh, wow, this is dangerous. But and it's funny because I then went the exact same road. Yeah, because I went the same road. And funnily enough, I've coached many businesses and I've sat on boards of businesses before. And the biggest problem, even through scale, and it's such an easy one to pull in, is offering complementary services. And they just don't work. Like I always go, have you structured your business in a way where someone else can articulate the benefit that you provide? And if the answer is no, you're not niching enough. Because then you have no word.
Hold up on that point. If you're Apple, complementary services and products, great idea because you have the resources to deliver it well. If you're Charley with a couple of people in the Philippines and you're not even doing one thing well, the idea of offering websites, business cards, Facebook ads, Google ads, like that makes no sense. Like that is a ridiculous concept in ideation. And it was exactly what we were doing.
I always love the comparisons that people pull in. It's like, I just do it this way because McDonald's does and like Apple does. And you're like, man, that's like the biggest extreme. It's like, what are you doing? Apple's got 100 billion in a bank account. Like, do whatever the hell they want, man. They can start a car company. But I align to this. And funnily enough, I've actually solved my revenue problems in the past by just niching and then putting a niche on a niche. It's like, this is too hard to sell. It's like, well, how do you make yourself more unique? How do you niche yourself even more? Second, you niche yourself even more and just get known for that one thing. It's like, amazing. This is perfect. I'm wrapped with this.
It's funny. The person who actually solved this for me was James Shremko. So my first encounter with James Shremko many, many years ago, he's like, dude, you look like you're doing all these things. You seem to be good at this ads thing and you like it and it's recurring revenue. Just do that. That's literally all he said. And I was like, if James thinks that, I'll just do ads. And business changed overnight. That was literally the defining moment that just, and we took off.
Don't you hate it when it's so simple?
The power of hindsight, right? I dare say James had his own experience in that world, but that's why mentors and people that have walked the path that is so valuable in business.
Totally. And this is one of the ones where you don't need to check. Like, money doesn't buy happiness. I still think everybody should go and check. But like niching, you don't need to check that just go a generalist works. No, it just doesn't. Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.